Can you believe that it has already been almost a year ago that Raising the Bar Redux released a demo for Division 2? Well, it's true! That released on February 14th, Valentine's Day, and it was a pretty neat, little demo to play through. It featured super detailed environments, satisfying, although maybe too much, gunplay, and more. If you want my full thoughts on that demo, then please check out the dedicated video I made for it by clicking the eye in the top right corner of the screen. But hey, did you know that the full version of Division 2 is out now? And that it has even had some patches since then too? Yeah, it's been out since December apparently. So hey, let's not wait any longer. I played through the entirety of Division 2 and I even played through Division 1 as well, so I can tell you all about this mod and how good it is now. So let's get into it.
LambdaGeneration.
So on December 23rd, 2022, the Raising the Bar Redux team officially released Division 2 to the public with a whole heck of new content to dive into. Not only is this Division 2 release obviously going to be larger than what the demo was, but it's actually much larger than the demo. I recorded my blind playthrough of Division 2 and it took me about 2 hours and 20 minutes to get through. And I still kind of remembered how the first bit of Division 2 worked, so I got through that pretty smoothly. So for someone who hasn't played this yet, this time could easily rack up to much more than that. And this time isn't even counting the extra 2 hours it took me to get through Division 1, by the way, so that's around 4.5 hours of gameplay right there. And that's about 83.5 gigabytes of 4K gameplay footage, by the way. Just thought you'd like to know. So Division 2 includes 3 chapters. The first chapter has the canals and airboat section we saw in the demo. The second chapter has Eli's den in it, where we get to meet Eli, Alex, Skitch, and Dog for the first time. And the final chapter has us go through Quarrytown, aka Ravenholm. And pretty much all of it is here. But before we go into looking at Division 2 in depth, let me talk about Division 1 for a bit, because some things have changed. The RTBR team has been hard at work making some changes to the first ever release of the mod. A lot of them welcome changes. They released an entire changelog over on their ModDB page that shows you per map what exactly they changed. They may say it's not a comprehensive list, but 4 pages seem pretty comprehensive to me though. This video script is about 4 pages long. For the intro, for example, they updated the G-Men's choreography and lip-syncing. They added new props, small conversations, and more propaganda posters around the train station, and more. And I can go on and on about these changes. Again, there's a lot of them, and this may actually require its own video just to discuss this. Maybe I'll do that if there is enough people wanting me to. The important thing is that Division 1 still looks and plays pretty good, but now it looks and plays even better than before. Although I will say that the beginning section still kind of feels like you're aimlessly wandering around City 17 for a bit until you're told by Barney to go to Kleiner's lab. That's really the moment when I saw purpose in my existence here at all. It also does take a long time before you finally get to shoot something. The beginning of Division 1 really feels more like a walking simulator because of this. Not that there is anything inherently wrong with that, there is a reason why it's a genre, it's just that not everyone will be into that part, but trust me, it really only gets better from there. If you have played through Division 1 before, but it was a while back, then I highly recommend you have a look at it again. The team poured a bucket load of extra love into this one, and hey, it leads perfectly into Division 2. Okay, I have to come clean here. I'm not actually playing Division 2 over here. I'm playing Division 2.1, which is an updated version of Division 2 that was released last week. Sometimes waiting pays off, eh? And in this update, even more stuff was changed. Another 3 pages of new map changes, bug fixes, and adjustments across both Divisions 1 and 2. Some of these changes include the airboat controls being improved, HUD hints now being made more obvious, LDR being removed, Grigori now looks less shiny, and lots of incorrect or missing captions have been added/fixed, and the whole train station map from the beginning has been entirely overhauled with new scripting and new geometry bits, and even this fun little train bit. Man, the Combine does know how to move trains, don't they? You can check the full changelog in the ModDB article. So the beginning of Division 2 is largely the same as what we saw in the demo that released in early 2022, with a few tweaks here and there to make the gameplay experience a little better. In the video that I made about it, for example, I complained about the maps being too dark and needing the flashlight too often, which would then subsequently run out of batteries, leaving you stranded in the dark. Well, this has been fixed by making the flashlight pretty much just last forever. And I also found that the cremators have been a lot more pleasant to fight as well, so yeah, they do really listen to fan feedback, which is great. I also found that the performance issues have been fixed in the latter half of the airboat section. It now performs like a dream. And that's me running the game in a higher resolution than I did before too, since I have made the jump to 4K video since then. Pretty great stuff. Let's talk about the new sections though, as I'm sure you're interested in them. Eli Maxwell's lab is what came up next after the airboat section, and it's a pretty interesting set piece. It has been teased a lot in media updates in the past, and we now finally got to take a look at it ourselves, with Alex and Skitch greeting us politely at the door.
Hold it! No sudden moves. Wait a second. Gordon? Oh, Dr. Maxwell's gonna be so happy to see you.
This is, of course, a very exposition-heavy chapter, so there is not much action going on besides talking to Eli, interacting with certain objects in the map, and looking at Alex and Skitch being best friends together. Really love these interactions. I'm a big sucker for good character writing and stuff, and Skitch seems like a great companion to have, even though he probably smells. Dog is cool too, getting his voice from old radio/TV broadcasts, essentially giving him a voice to speak with for the very first time without making it sound or feel weird. I really like the direction they went with this. It must have been one hell of a job finding and putting together all of these different snippets of audio for him. The voice acting overall is pretty decent too. Eli Maxwell sounds like I expect him to sound, and Alex sounds pretty good too, although maybe she acted some of her lines a little too much for my preference. What I haven't talked about yet though is the gravity gun that you obtain in this section. It has an all-new design and all-new sounds to come along with it, making the tool sound a whole lot more mechanical than it used to. It comes with no surprise that I really like this new approach to the sound design a lot too. Oh, and you're going to need that gravity gun because the next chapter takes place in Quarrytown, or Ravenholm, which is of course famous for all of the traps it has laying around the place. Just like in the retail game, the gravity gun can pretty much be used as your only weapon throughout all of this chapter, and it's pretty satisfying to use. But just like in the retail game, I always end up just going back to my regular arsenal, and with just enough ammo available for you to use for these weapons, this was luckily still a very viable option too. Father Grigori is also present here, leading you towards the church, which is his hideout, to eventually take you to the entrance of the quarry to get you out of the dangerous Ravenholm. This final sequence works a little bit different though than in the retail game, as you have to protect Grigori here while he gets the elevator up for you. I definitely failed this part numerous times, even though you do get to use Annabelle for a bit. Man, this gun is a powerhouse. Throughout Ravenholm, you're fighting not only regular zombies and headcrabs, but also redesigned fast zombies and poisonous zombies and their respective headcrabs. But that's not all. Gnomes, or Gnomes, or Gnomes? Gnomes? I don't know. Are also attending the slaughter party, catching me off guard a little bit, even though I knew they were gonna be here at some point. They're not super hard to kill, but they do take a little bit more bullets to put down, and it certainly doesn't help that they jump around quite a bit. Oh, and of course, the whole place looks amazing and super detailed. There was genuinely a moment where I just looked at the environment and thought, wow. I like it when mods make me do that. Division 2 ends in the quarry with a bang. You get to ride on a digger and smash through literally anything on your path. Super satisfying. And yep, it does leave you wanting more. So I'd say it's a pretty good ending right there. And that's kind of it for Raising the Bar Redux Divisions 1 and 2. I did leave out some parts here and there for spoiler reasons, so of course I highly recommend you to play this all for yourself. Do put some time aside for it though, as it's quite a long mod. So, what do you think of Raising the Bar Redux so far? Have you played through the new Division 1 and 2 yet? Or are you planning on it? Do you have some thoughts on it? Let me know in the comments, and I'll read them. Apparently, The Wasteland is coming up next, and I can't wait to see what we're going to be getting from that. To Kralik and the rest of the Raising the Bar Redux team, I wish you all the best of luck. And please, let us pet Skitch next time.